Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Out of Service podcast. I'm Ali. This is
Giovanni.
Dan.
And Tania.
And we're coming back to you guys with another episode. But as you guys know, we always start with our highs and lows. So I'll ask Dan to start.
All right, my low of the week. I think low key, the fact that we were driving in the snow. Me and Allison almost just died. I'm not gonna lie. Driving like 5 miles per hour, but the car was swerving. I felt like I was like on an ice rink. It was actually pretty scary.
Yeah.
That's my low. And then my high. What's my high? I guess work's been busy, but like that's good. I guess because I'm working and God is good and He provides for me.
Amen. Okay.
Okay, so I would say, sorry, my fault.
You're good. You're good.
I would say that my low this week would say that I kind of got off my routine with my planner and like the goals that I set myself for the week. So I'm I'm not mad at myself because I think that as humans we fall off sometimes. So it's important to just go back into the routine. Like I don't like to just give up. So my high will be that I will do better this week and I'll go back to my routine and I'll go back to the habits that I've set in place for the week.
Period.
I don't think I had a low this week. It was a good week.
Wow.
And my high, I tried seafood boil today for the first time, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yep. That was really good.
Nope.
Never
It
had one.
changed.
I don't like it.
You
don't
don't
like
like it?
I don't like seafood much though. So to be fair,
Yeah.
My low. I don't really have a low. And then my high.
she met my friend Trayvon. That was her low.
My low, meeting Trayvon. And then my high. I was really productive yesterday. I did a lot of work.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
I was having a productive day.
Wow, in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Well,
Well,
enough with. Okay.
Trey.
I drink a lot of Red Bulls.
Trey.
Yeah, I didn't see this, but I drink 2 Red Bulls.
So Dan's alter ego is Trey. So Trey, come on.
I gotta chill out.
You gotta chill out.
I gotta chill
You
out.
gotta chill out.
Today, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about.
Today on today's episode.
On today's episode, since y'all want to be rude, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about church hurt. We're talking about being church hurt, all things that cause church hurt, how we dealt with church hurt, if we were church hurt.
Church.
What does a hurt do?
What is a hurt?
Wait, say church 5 times fast.
Church hurt.
Oh,
yeah.
you almost had it.
Yeah, I'm a stutterer, so I was
alright.
never going to get that far. But I guess let's start with the question of, have you guys been church hurt?
What exactly do you mean by that?
So let's define
Yeah.
church hurt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's define
Yeah.
church hurt.
Just hurt by the church. But
But what does that mean?
yeah.
Right.
Wait, so do we mean like hurt by the institution of church,
But
or
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
or do we mean hurt by people in the church? I guess like, have you been hurt by? Oh,
I mean, either. Yeah. Either.
yeah, either, and then explain which one. If it was by the institution of church or by the people in church.
Probably by the people.
Yeah, I would say by the people.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So we all have?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Actually, what's like church hurt?
Maybe just like a little church annoyed.
Church annoyed.
Church bruised.
Right.
Church bruised.
I wasn't hurt. I was just bruised.
bruised.
Slightly bruised. Okay, yeah, I would say bruised.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because hurt? No, because maybe I would have left. You know, but I didn't leave. I was just bruised.
Yeah.
I guess it's different for you because you came like when you were an adult. Almost.
He was a teen.
17. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-adult. Pre-adult. Yeah. Yeah, that's you guys grew up in the church, so you guys have had more chance to get hurt by the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually true. And also, I feel like when we joined the church and we truly joined, we had kind of more of like a conviction aspect of being there. Mm-hmm. Like we actually had to make our way to church.
Yeah.
You guys were kind of like your parents took you to church your whole life, and that was just what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically, we've all kind of been hurt by the church.
Kind of, sort of.
Sort of, kind of,
Well,
yes.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some.
I have.
Okay, for
Oh.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Okay,
about you?
so you go off.
Well, I can't really talk about it in detail
Okay.
because it's like a lot.
Because like you're out there.
Very much. And honestly, I don't know if I want to, but
Oh.
I was church hurt when I was a kid, and then I didn't have like the choice to leave, so I had to kind of stay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's right that parents do that? That they force their kids to go to church?
I think as long as I'm a child, yeah.
Okay, so
Do you think it's correct?
Yeah. Like if I'm living in their roof and they want me to go to
Yeah.
church, then yeah.
we all agree with that?
I agree with that.
100%. I believe that too.
Yeah.
Like, what's the age for you where you're like, okay, you can make your own decisions?
I feel like the legal age 18.
Nah, respectfully.
When-
I'm you living in my roof.
Exactly.
You going to church?
Exactly.
I mean, if you have a job,
Yeah.
Nah, I'm spanking you.
I mean, I guess everyone's
Spank-
different.
use
Everyone's
it.
gonna,
Nah, I'm spanking kids.
everyone's gonna parent their kids differently.
Like, if you want to live your life the way you want to live it, respectfully get out.
Yeah.
Like, what's that
Yeah.
verse? You know verses way better than me. The one where it's like, me and my house will serve the Lord. Joshua
1-9.
1:9. Oh, period. Joshua 1:9.
Okay, Joshua.
For me and my
what's
house,
up?
we will serve the Lord.
I've
Like,
seen
Yeah.
it in a bunch of like decor in the house.
yeah.
But yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
Joshua 1:9.
Like, that to me,
No,
fire verse.
for sure.
Like, the fact that he took that, like, leadership role. And we, like, as one day parents will have to take that same role with our kids. Because some people are too lenient.
Very.
I agree.
Like, what do you mean your kid didn't want to come to church, so you left them at home?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean by that?
Unshowered with pajamas on, you're coming. I
Like,
don't care.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a crazy statement.
Really?
like, my thing is, like, sure, there's going to be moments where, like, you're, like, 13, 14, 15, and you're going to be like, but I don't want to go to church.
Yeah.
But yeah, guess what? Sometimes I don't want to go to church either. That's not the point of church.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
the
Way I
point-
don't want to go to work
you gotta go to work.
Right.
But I have to
But
go to
you're
work.
gonna go to work.
Yeah.
But you gotta go to work to survive.
to survive. Same way.
Like, yeah, it's like you're giving your kids a life lesson when you just let them do whatever they want because you're teaching them that they can just quit on things that are good for them.
Mm.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we all, especially in the Hispanic community, we always say, go to college, get your degree. You think that's easy? No. You know what? That was probably a lesson they learned because a lot of Latinos, Hispanics are Catholic. And a lot of us, me being included, we grew up going to the Catholic Church until one day we were just like, wait, I don't want to go to church anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our parents were kind of just like, well, you are a little older now. I guess you can make your own decisions. And they kind of just let you off. Like, that was my life. My parents were just kind of like, you're right. You don't have to go. Like, if you don't want to. And that kind of bled into my life a little bit because it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. Now I'm going to quit. You know? And no, you got to teach your kids way better than that.
Yeah.
Okay. We went on a
Little tangent.
little tangent, but okay. Back to church hurt.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on your church hurt?
Yeah, I mean, my church hurt was more like I was definitely making my mistakes in life, and like I was sinning. I was in the world, but I was like 1 foot in church, 1 foot in the world, very much doing things I shouldn't have been doing. But I think the way the church handled that situation was not the best. You know, there was definitely individuals that were taking care of me, but then I think the leadership didn't do their best. You know, where maybe instead of trying to like reprimand me and kind of, I think like almost like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like in that way, I think they should have covered me. You know, I think Jesus teaches us that he didn't come to condemn, but he came to save. You know, and I think a lot of the times the church forgets that, yes, we're supposed to be the watchmen. We're the saints. We're supposed to be the ones judging righteously. But at the same time, we're supposed to be like Christ.
Yeah.
You know, and I think sometimes we have a really heavy stick, but we forget the love. You know, we're supposed to do these things with love. And I think that's how we can hurt people.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, so that's what I went through.
What about
I
you,
agree.
Yova?
For me personally, I think it was the people. Especially when I was young. I've met a lot of people who like made it a really bad experience for me. Especially when I joined leadership when I was a kid. The reasons why I stepped down was because of the other leaders. They weren't really mature. I remember there was meetings where they would make fun of me. I was new, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't really, I would say, pursue leadership, because of the people who were in leadership at the time when I started. But I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I kept on going to church.
Yeah.
And then I met great people. I built great relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess for me, it was kind of similar to you, where actually, no, it's actually not similar to you. It's similar to you. Sorry. But like the people and just like the forms of like gossip that would come around.
Yeah.
And then also just, I think for me, it was this like, someone did something really, really bad to me. And then it made me question as to like, okay, well, you believe in God.
Yeah.
How, what, why, you know?
Yeah.
And then all those questions started to pop up. But also I was a kid and like I didn't understand fully what it meant. But it's also almost like the people that were put to like protect me and watch over me were the same people that hurt me. So it was almost like it just like didn't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It like kind of shattered
Hit different.
my worldview and like, so what do I believe? What do I trust? So that's a little bit of me, and then also the gossip as like as I got older.
And I think it's very hard in a church, because you're in a place where you're supposed to be vulnerable. You're in a place where you're supposed to open up to these people, but once they break your trust, you don't have anyone to be vulnerable to, or you don't have a place of comfort. And in a church, there should be that place of comfort. There should be someone for you to guide you. So you someone who you can trust in, at least.
Yeah.
And I think personally, I mean, I'm grateful I did have that at a point in my life, but I think a lot of people don't experience that in a church.
Yeah. What about you, Tanya?
I think my church hurt in a way was similar to yours. That when I was growing up and I was in like the middle school age, where you're like trying to fit in, the people that were like in that group, they were very cliquey.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was never part of like what youth was back then. So I really thought that, like, it really did feel like it was judging, because you know I came from like a different country, like I didn't know English that well, and like it really, you could see how like different it was, and how like they didn't really try to include me as much.
It's almost like in a place you were seeking community, you were an outcast.
Yeah, yeah,
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I think as people, we have to do better, especially because we ourselves have cliques sometimes.
Facts.
Oh,
Not that
I think that's okay.
I think it's okay as long as
To an
we're not
extent.
like.
Yeah, to an extent.
So
yeah,
my thing is, because I think sometimes people play the victim card.
yeah,
Like I've even experienced this, and I'm not talking about your. I think what happened to you was actually not the bad. I think people were just mean to you. But I think it's okay for people to be closer to certain people.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think sometimes people make it seem like, but why can't you guys be close to me? But it's like you can have your own relationships and friendships, and that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as we're not being rude to you and like you're trying to be close to us, and we're like, oh no, we're too cool for you.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like if you're a mean girl, like that type of attitude, then that's wrong.
yeah.
But I think the point of church is to, in a community, you find your community, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you can't expect yourself to go to a church and be close to everyone. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I
it's not
agree.
realistic.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we're going to church, we're not going to heaven.
Yeah.
Like we're not walking around with angels. You
Yeah.
know, like these are people that are dealing with their own problems. They're dealing with their own sin. They're
Yeah.
trying to get closer to Jesus, and they're a work in progress.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
I think we expect people to be these images of Christ, where in reality that's just not going to be the case a lot of the time. You know, and even our leaders, like even leaders you respect and you love, they're gonna fail you.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think sometimes it's scary to be like, oh, I need certain people to be certain things for me, but we're supposed to be pointers. Like I hate when leadership becomes like look at me instead of look at Christ.
Right.
You know?
Amen.
And that's when it can get scary, because if I start to look at you and then you fail me,
So
I'm gonna think that this failed me.
Yeah.
You
and that's
know?
when that person is your idol,
yeah.
and that person becomes your idol.
But I think we all like I think our comment is that we were young, right? And we really,
Yeah.
really didn't know a lot of actually like where to look at. And I think that was a big part of why we were kind of church hurt, because we were just so little.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that when we're young, we don't really think of these things. Now that we're, of course, older, we have this understanding. Okay, like I have to put in my own effort as well. But when you're growing up, you're still learning these things.
Yeah. I mean, I think I came in the oldest out of all of us because you still came in kind of young.
Yeah.
You were like 14,
I think so. I don't
something
know.
like that. I
Yeah.
came in like
Yeah.
the senior year of high school. Like I was
so-
older than all of you. So my thing was like I never really cared what anyone said. Like I came
Yeah.
from public school my whole life. Like I could care less what people say about me. And that's the attitude I came in at church.
Yeah.
So sure, I heard things about me and I heard certain things, but I was like, truly, I couldn't care less what you people think about me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think it was more, mine is a little different from your guys because it was more attached to like just the leadership, and I think they didn't handle a certain situation well, and that made me a little church hurt. But other than that, like people talking, the gossip,
Yeah.
the drama in leadership,
Yeah.
none of that ever affected me to the point where like, oh, I'm church hurt,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I won't go to church. Like testimony is kind of crazy
Yeah.
with some people at church, and I still go to church. Like I could care less,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's different though, because some people, like you said, people go into church hurt. Like, kind of look at like church as like a hospital type. So if we're
Yeah.
going into church hurt, like we're already going into church with insecurities.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of have to be careful when like we're talking to new people that go into church, but also just be careful with like what we say even with the people that we're close to, because people are always listening, and we think people don't listen to us, but people do be listening. With all that being said, I want to talk about gossip. But that was kind of just like being careful with the things you say in church. Like she said that in the church,
Yeah.
according to the source. They said that in the church. And I don't think she realized the amount of people that heard that one little comment. And honestly, to me, it rubbed the
Ugly.
person that told me the wrong way.
Yeah. You're not good at this, Ali.
I'm really not.
You're horrible.
But it happened. It just happened.
Gossip, it's almost unavoidable.
It is.
Like it's unavoidable at church because it's unavoidable anywhere in life. Where you have people, you have gossip. It literally, that is a sad truth. It doesn't matter how much you teach the word of God, how many good preachers you have in a church, how good of leadership you have. There will be gossip at church.
Yeah.
Because think about every single relationship you have in your life. You're gonna talk about things. So you get what I'm saying? Like if you have friends and they go to church, like as good as a Christian as you want to be,
Yeah.
maybe you're not even gonna do it with malintent, but you're gonna open up and be like, yeah, this happened with this person and
Yeah.
blah blah
I
blah.
don't think that's really gossip, though. I think gossip is more like in a negative, kind of like in an envious type of like, let me tell you what this person did. You know what I mean? It's like very negative.
Yeah.
Like I feel like because I feel like then you're saying we can't even talk about our issues with other people, and I don't think that's fair.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's how
It's like a
spread.
casual conversation or rumor about someone's personal life.
Yeah, but if I'm telling you something that happened to me, that's not a rumor.
Like,
That happened to me.
I always wonder, like, is it like venting, right? Like, I'm trying to see what to do. And if the situation is bad, like, I want to
I
know.
feel like if it's about you, you're not
Like you're
gossiping.
part of the issue.
Like, but there's people,
no, like you're the issue that
Yeah,
happened.
like yeah.
but there's also people out there who enjoy talking about other people and how bad their lives are going.
that's bad.
Yeah,
That's
like
bad.
that's different.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
there's
bad.
like that's they
I think
feed
it's
into
your
that.
intentions.
Yeah,
Of course.
I think your
Yeah.
intentions matter a lot. Like if you're trying to open up to a friend and you're trying to like pour out what's going on, and it happens to involve someone else because most of the time
happens.
things involve someone else,
yeah.
then I think maybe that wouldn't be considered gossip. But even then, if we're all being honest,
Yeah.
like things are gonna come up. Like we need to do better. Maybe this is a point of self reflection.
I guess like you can't really control other people, but you can always control yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's difficult.
Yeah. But if we all controlled ourselves, then
That's gonna be impossible.
I mean, it could be impossible. I don't. about. I mean, it could.
It's so impossible. I think my thing is you have to try to be like you have to try to not be a bystander. You know, like the bystander effect, where it's like you think you're not at fault because you weren't part of it and you're just listening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes we need to take the initiative of like if you're hearing someone, even someone that you care about and that you're close to, start to talk about something. We need to be like, no, wait. Is this going to be beneficial for me to hear?
Yeah.
And if they say no, then you should be like, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
You know, but most of the times you hear something, and you're like, keep it coming.
Yeah, I was about to say,
No, to be fair, I had a circumstance where I was at work. I was at a job, and I remember we were sitting in a group, and then they started talking about other people, and I said respectfully, I can't hear this, and I walked out.
Very good.
And they were like,
that's
yeah.
what we should do. That is kind of like the goal. Is like, I can't even be a part of this conversation right now.
Yeah, because it was OD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was OD.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to truly kill gossip in the church is if you kill it in yourself first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Oh, because you are the church. Wait, hold up, that's fire.
You eat?
That is fire.
It's a little tough though because like it comes from different places. Like it comes from hurt, it come from envy.
Yeah.
It can come from love sometimes.
No bad thing can come from love.
No, I
Something
if
you
it
think
wasn't
is love.
bad, like if it wasn't a bad thing, like if it was like I need help. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that's gossip.
Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
think we said that's
but
not
then
really
we
gossip.
said
Yeah.
it kind of is though because you are talking about someone else.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think the diagnosis for this to the people watching is you have to try to be like that that blockage of like, sure, this has been flowing and it's like a current, but I'm gonna stop it here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna just let it keep going into me and then I'm gonna go and say it to someone else like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. And also, I think people are going to speak about you regardless. In life, it doesn't matter where you go, people will always talk about you. So I think my best advice to anyone who gets bothered about people talking about them is just don't give them the power. Just people are going to talk about you. Just don't let it affect you. And, you know, your identity isn't in what people say, but it's in Christ. And that's where your rock should be. You're in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think people have a point though where it's like, y'all supposed to be the church?
No,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because I kind of get it. Like when people say like, yeah, I understand it. Like you guys are imperfect, but like,
Yeah.
y'all the church.
Like, get it
Like
together.
y'all supposed to be different than the world.
Yeah.
Not the same as the world.
Because it's almost like we hold that responsibility of like the Great Commission.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think sometimes like it kind of goes back to the first thing we were talking about where some parents were too lenient. But then I think that eases into other areas of the church where it's like maybe we're too lenient on other things like gossip.
Yeah.
You know, like how often do we hear like the church give a preaching on why gossip is bad?
Barely.
I don't think I've ever heard.
Well,
preaching.
recently.
Well, we haven't heard preachings, but we've heard it like as an announcement.
Yeah. I mean, we
get-
did have one like a little recently. I
Okay.
think it was one, but it's not like as consistent.
You
Yeah, I get what you're
Like,
saying. Yeah.
and I think even less so. Sometimes, like I don't know. This is my personal opinion. I think sometimes the preachings we get, and this is very like American church, they're very much like for non-believers. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does
Yeah.
make sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're very much like, oh, try to get into this, try to believe in Jesus, and then we kind of let the people that know about Jesus and are in a relationship currently there. We kind of leave them like, this is good for you because you're gonna enjoy it because you love Jesus and
Yeah.
you love the Bible and you're gonna enjoy this like hour.
Yeah.
But I think the church is meant to build up, you know, build us up, go from baby to a full grown Christian. Like, give me some good stuff, build the church up,
Yeah.
make them powerful leaders, and make them bring in these people that then they're gonna see what a real church looks like. But instead, we're just giving people milk,
So they lack real discipleship.
so they lack discipleship,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you can't really expect your congregation to act like adults when you treat them like babies.
That's why it's a balance, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Because your preaching should try to get people to be saved, but at the same time, you have to be building these people up.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It is a balance,
It
and
is
I
a
think
balance.
sometimes American church is more focused to like the unbeliever,
Yeah.
but then the believers are falling by the wayside.
Yeah.
So what's the point of bringing them in if they're just gonna fall out?
Yeah.
You know?
There's no point.
I guess like kind of going off of that, like I feel like another reason people leave the church or
Their church hurt.
their church hurt is because of like judgment. And it kind of goes back to why you were church hurt. As to like people saw what you did.
Not like I was judged correctly, like they were right. I
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think the way they dealt with my sin was incorrect.
right.
You know? Like I think again, the church has this huge duty with the world that at the same time you're bringing them in and showing them the love of Christ and how, you know, this is a redeeming plan. You also have to kind of set boundaries and set like these like it's always like that analogy of like a shepherd, right, with his sheep. Like he has to set guardrails, you know, and you know sometimes send shepherd dogs to shepherd in the sheep and make sure that when they want to run astray that they don't, that they stay with the herd. And at times it can feel like we're too nice and we're just letting anyone in and they could just live the life they want and run amok and you can still call yourself a Christian because the Lord redeemed you and he's good and he loves you regardless. But then sometimes I feel like they'll just like break your legs and be like, you're like this dirty rotten sinner and there's no like middle ground. It's just either you're fine as you are, don't worry, or like take this beating because you've been bad.
So judgment. Anita. The question.
I'm a tangent king.
What's the question?
It was like, how do we deal with judgment? I hope so. Hold on.
Sure, everything is biblical because I think a lot of people just judge based on what they believe in or like
Talk
what they
about
feel
it.
like. But as long as people are judging each other according to the Bible, then I think it's like you said, it's right. And again, we have to do it with love because we can't have somebody new or even somebody that's been in church and then like tell them everything that they did wrong and they have no like way to save themselves or like to like they don't have hope basically. That's not correct.
Yeah.
And fine, let's say that they judged. Now I think it's also their job to help them and make sure that they are coming out of that fully.
Yeah, like it's tough. It's tough. How do you like? Because even trying to judge biblically, you're gonna interpret some things.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like you still have to interpret the Bible.
Yeah.
So I think that's where like good teaching comes in. I think having good teaching because one denomination can teach the word this way, and you could completely disagree with what they think.
So do you think it's important the person that is talking to you, or could it be anybody that's just understands?
No, I think that the person who's counseling you is very, very important. I think that you have to look at the person and look at their fruits, and based on their fruits, you'll know what the heart is and who this person it really does stand by, or you know what this person believes in. And I think for me personally, if I'm looking for someone to counsel me, I would say I would look at their family. I would look at like, you know, is this a man of God? Does this man have a strong family? Is this person, I even look at employment. Like, is this person employed? Is this person like doing well financially? Just things that I look at as a person. Is this person like, would this person do the right thing when no one's looking? As well, like, is this questions that I ask myself before I go and open myself up to someone? Because I think it's in a way, I think that we also have to put our part and say, okay, I have to look for someone who is as close to Christ as a human can be, if that makes sense.
That's a high standard.
Yeah. And that's the way I just view it, as close as this person as Christ, and if that person exists, then I will open myself up to that person. But if they don't, then I gotta pray. I gotta keep on looking for people to counsel me. But for me, it's really hard to open up to people.
Because I feel like if you guys were to tell me, right, that I'm doing something wrong and I guess judge me in a way,
Rebuke you.
I would be like, okay, I guess. Like, I would listen because
Yeah.
I know that you guys have like good foundation and I know you guys are strong on your word.
I think
That's a great
friendships
point.
also are good. Yeah,
That's a great point because I think the good part. I think the reason.
Tyrone.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, Trayvon.
My fault.
Wow, you kind of opened it up for me. I think the reason why it's righteous for God and Jesus to judge is because He loved us first. Like he didn't start with judging; He started with loving.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. Sometimes we don't see people with God's eyes.
No.
We see them with their mistakes instead of how God sees them.
Yeah.
You know, like when someone hurts us, we see them for the hurt they did, not for who they can be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's so difficult to let hurt go sometimes. So I think the problem is Genesis, where we start. You know, we start off on a bad foot with people.
Yeah.
You know, and I think sometimes that can even cause that like split with leadership where you're like, I need you to be this standard for me to open up with you.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes like you talk about fruit and through your fruit we will know you, right? The word says.
Yeah.
But I think it's unfair to look at a broken vessel that is a human and think that they're going to bear perfect fruit all the time. You know, because if someone's been doing ministry, like let's say I respect so many leaders in my life, right? But if I look to their life and once you get close to people, like if someone's really far from me and I look at them, I'm not going to see the imperfections on their face. I'm not going to see if they have a zit. I'm not going to see if they have a little beauty mark over here. But the closer I get to that person, the more imperfection I'm going to see on them. That's the same about their character.
Yeah.
Because if you're far away from someone and that goes to leadership, people that are on pulpits and you don't know their life, sometimes they could look perfect. It could even look a little intimidating at times.
Yeah.
But the closer and closer you get to someone, you understand you're just a human just like me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's beautiful because it humanizes leaders. And look at even the people that we respect and we think, oh my goodness, look at these people. Paul, he killed people.
Yeah.
Moses killed people. Like all of these people made so many mistakes. And this is, and sure, you can say, oh, that's pre what they started doing with God. Look at David. He was the only person that God said he was after my own heart. He literally lusted over a woman, sent her husband to die, so he could then sleep around with her. And God said that was a man after my own heart. I think it goes to sometimes we judge people based on what we think, but God sees people in a different way, you know, and He doesn't see you for your mistakes. He sees you for how often do you go after me, you know, because even the Bible says the righteous will fall, but they'll get up, you know. So I think it's unfair to look at people and be like, oh, you're not really the best to open up to because of this. And we point at that one bad fruit, and there's like 50 good fruits around them.
Exactly, but there should be a standard.
Of course, but what is that standard? Because it can't be. You have to be as close as possible to. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be a standard to what like the person's life is. Maybe my standard, I'm gonna be honest, is a little too high. Bring it down a little bit. But yeah.
Okay, Barry.
So I'm thinking, like, in what situation, like, would I actually get hurt? You know, because I can think of ways that I wouldn't, and like it would be with you guys or somebody that I know. But I guess if like it's also like how you hear about what I did. Like if you hear it with gossip and you try to come here with like trying to help me, I don't know if that would be like smart.
Like if someone was gossiping about you and then the person goes up to you, try to help you out.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I also like, I feel like now that I've been in leadership, I've seen both sides of it. You know, where I kind of can feel for leaders, because you do, if you have the right heart, you do want the best for people. And when you hear stuff where it's like, oh, that's going on in their life, you're like, sheesh, like I kind of wish I could do something to help. But sometimes you do hear it in a bad way where you're like, oh, I wasn't really supposed to hear that. But now I know, what do I do? You know, and you can pray about it all you want, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to help more than just saying like, hey,
I heard.
maybe not I heard, but maybe be like, how are you? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
But the bad part is people won't open up.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like you notice that people really won't open up with you unless you build a relationship with them first.
Yeah.
And that could be difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
You know. But that's why I think it's good to have, like, that's why I said a church is a community where you have to find your community. You know, like that's why like this is cool, because like we found our community. You know, where we feel like we could trust each other, we could say certain things. You know, we've had times where we've opened up and we've said, you know, problems we're going through or this and that, and we're here to help each other. We're here to hear each other out.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. Like even today, you know, like what I told you, like on Jesus's walk to the cross, he couldn't take it all the way himself, and that's Jesus. He had to have a man come in and help him take it some of the way. So who are we to try to take our cross by ourselves? You know, there's gonna be times where you're gonna be too weak to take that cross.
You're cooking.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to let it go and have someone come in and be like, "Yo, I got you."
Self-sufficient, Yova. Relax.
But that's why the Bible's so clear on you have to congregate. You have to. It's not an option as a Christian. Like it's not.
Be a solo artist. Like that's all I'm looking for. I'm just trying to be a solo artist in my life.
But I think what he's trying to get at is like the fact that like having a community and having godly people around you is what like makes such a big difference.
Yo, like where two or more gather in my name,
Yeah.
I will be in their midst.
Yeah.
Like there's something about community. There's something about people who believe in the same God coming together that's more powerful than just one person believing.
Yeah.
You know? Like even Jesus goes to his old town and he couldn't do the same like amount of miracles that he could outside because the people just didn't believe.
Yeah.
You know? Like we're talking about Jesus. You know, so imagine that on a much smaller scale where it's just like a leader. You know, a leader at a church. And if people aren't okay with just coming together and believing in a God, like how much can really happen in that church? You know, like we need to be able to open up and say, hey, you might not be perfect, but you're my brother, you're my sister in Christ.
Yeah.
And we're going to work together and set our differences aside
I was just gonna say
for a
that.
greater goal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because I think sometimes people think like we have to work together. We need to be in like some sort of friendship, relationship kind of situation. But we just need to be able to respect each other as brothers and sisters. Like at the end of the day, like it's really true. Like we're not going to get along with everyone on a friendship level.
Yeah.
But if God is telling us to be like respectful with other people and like love other people and show people love, then that should be enough to be like able to work together. So I think sometimes people expect friendships in a way for things to work together. Or like,
Yeah.
And respectfully, that's not going to happen.
yeah. Or then
Yeah.
even in that, like, damn, even in that, not wait. Did I say people expect?
Yeah.
Okay, now I was gonna say that point again, but yeah, like people expect friendship.
You got this. You got
No,
this.
I was gonna say like, and like, don't even. It's like people expect it too, but I already said that. So
Double down. Double down.
I think that's a big part.
Let her go.
No, I was gonna say I think that's a big part of why I felt like I was church hurt because I was expecting people to be my friend. Like if you were in like leadership and you were in this group, like I wanted people to be my friend. But now that you say that, it's true. Like we can't expect people to just come and like be friends.
I think you can't expect everyone
right
to be your
but
friend.
it's different because I feel like as a leader, you kind of take that responsibility of like you don't have to be everyone's friend, but you do have to make everyone feel welcome.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
I think what the word says is that we have to be in the same spirit. And that's something that's really beautiful. You know, that we might not, you know, get along the best. You know, maybe our personalities clash a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but we're in the same spirit, and what that means is that even though we're different and we have our differences, we can understand that maybe life isn't about us anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and we can understand that there's a greater calling, and we have the same calling.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, sure, you can be called to be a pastor, and I can be called to be a preacher, but we're still called to the same calling, which is to spread the good news and make disciples.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone has that calling. So the fact that we can work together to do that is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like that that lesson we had for group that one day about the branches
Oh,
and how like in order to get that branch to kind of intertwine, we have to hold it up with something. And again, that's like what community is. It's like us holding up branches with like our relationships and fellowship and like being there when someone needs it. Because I think what you said is very important. It's like we're not going to be able to carry our cross on our own. And like we have to be, you know, as like it's our responsibility to create a safe space for people to come talk to us, but it's also our responsibility to talk to people.
facts. No, yeah, because I feel like for me personally, like the thing that kept me at church at first, because I wasn't like now, like it kind of happened. Like everyone that was close to me has left the church. If this happened 4 years ago, I would have left.
You would have.
I would have maybe even left the faith.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've gotten to a point where I don't need people to make me feel comfortable at church. I need God.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a big difference, but you need a time period where those people are really important. You know, and the fact that I had that, I'm grateful, you know, because so there were moments where honestly I went to church because like, yo, the people that I love go to church, you know, and that's something big.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people in the beginning, they might not fully understand God's love, but maybe they can understand it through you. You know, and that's why I think we need to be the salt in the earth.
Yeah, weirdly, like our love is so imperfect, but it's so much easier to understand. Like God's
good.
love is really hard because it doesn't make sense to us. It's unconditional.
Yo.
But like people to people love,
That's
is
good.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's like the people love kind of like keeps them afloat, but then God's love saves them.
What?
fire.
Shut
That was
up.
fire.
Hold on.
That was fire.
Hold on.
I have to write that one down for the book.
New bio.
Can you clip that?
Yeah, that's good. That's
Little
good.
bio.
Yo.
I mean, I just thought about the way you were saying because I think that's so true. Like, I guess for me, I'm kind of going through that too because like I feel like I almost lost everyone too, and the only people keeping me there is like my mom and probably you
And
Tanya.
Monica Carlos.
But like other than that, like I think the people that kind of like, oh god, here we go. But like,
Don't cry.
no, I'm not gonna cry.
Just
but-
don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry, but I think my relationship with Yova healed a lot of my church hurt because I guess he didn't realize like how. Stop it! But it is true. Like I didn't have a friend at church, and he was my first friend at church. So it was like he like healed a lot of that in me, and like he's not there anymore. But I also got like it, and I'm not gonna lie, it did just like it did like affect me a little bit, but it almost gave me to that point where it was like, yeah, his love kind of helped me, like pushed me into the places I needed to be. But now that he's not there, I felt uncomfortable. I felt like bare, but it didn't push me away. Like it kind of kept me going because then I realized like I'm not here for people. I'm here for God. But because of that, like I feel like that friendship pushed me into the right place.
Yo, and low key, like that's kind of a reflection of Christ, where like he took his time with his disciples, but then at a certain point he said, "I am out."
Yeah.
Like, see ya.
Yeah.
Like, it's better for you that I leave because I leave you with someone that'll never be gone. You know, like in the same way we're meant to disciple like Jesus, and one day understand that they're enough to be on their own. You know, and there's this growing pain that comes with being a Christian where there's growth that hurts, and you have to understand that sometimes you need somebody there to be like, it's okay, this is normal. You know, this is kind of part of it because I've been through it and I get it.
Yeah.
And here's some wisdom that I've gained from my life. And there is a time period though where it doesn't matter who leaves your life, you'll never leave the Lord.
Yeah.
And I think when you get there, you know that now your job is to help the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you get to that point, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful, and I think that's why this generation, like the 20-year-olds, we have to understand that. Sure, we went through a lot of stuff, you know, and we went through the gossip, the hurt, but the generation coming, you know, now is going to go do the same things,
Yeah.
and we can't let them leave because I haven't even grown up the church. I've only been there 7 years, but I've seen young people come and go.
Yeah.
You know, and that's sad. That breaks my heart, and it should break our hearts as Christians that we've seen faces walk into the church that don't stay.
Yeah. I've
You
seen
know?
many.
Because where are they going?
Yeah.
You know, because most of them aren't going to good places.
Right.
You know, we have people we love that are in the clubs. We got people we love that are going to do drugs. We got people in the club that are suicidal. They're depressed. They're full of anxiety. And we're just at church thinking about ourselves. But, yo, you are the church. Go out and do something. You know, go out and make a change. Like, if you're so sure that, like, you don't need anyone and you're assured in God, then do something about it.
Yeah. You know, that convicted me recently. Because I think, like, I feel like sometimes I could be a little bit reserved. And even in church, even though, like, I've been there for so long.
Facts.
But it does kind of bring me to that point where it's like, okay, I'm going to church for me, but, like, at what point do I start going to church to help others? Yeah. And that convicted me recently. So that's
When do
funny
you
that you say
stop
that.
being the patient and start being a doctor?
Right. Right.
Or nurse.
Or a nurse.
Stop playing my nurse.
Yeah.
Like, play your role. Like, at a certain point, the church can't keep dragging you in your Christian life. You have to become the church dragging people. You know, like
Yeah.
there's stages. Like, there's stages, and I think sometimes we get stuck. We just get stuck and like, I'm going to church, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But no, there's stages to church. You know, like, there's newbies, there's babies, you know, but then they grow up, they learn more, they start to walk, and then after that they start to understand, oh, whoa, there's a lot going on right now. You know, I'm getting hit from left and right. But you know, you get the letters from Paul. Like, we have to focus on the aim, on the author, you know.
Yeah.
And he's there. He's always with you. You can do it. All these things, and people need to hear that. You know, but
Yeah. In that same way, though, you can't just not take care of yourself neither, because you're taking
course.
care of others. Because many
Never.
people just want to like serve and be leaders, and then you don't give enough time for yourself and God.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I think the biggest thing I learned probably the last 2 years is I can't rely on Sundays and Wednesdays for me to learn about the Bible. Like, you know, like, if the only scriptures I hear are the ones from a pulpit, then I'm not a Christian. You know, I'm just a churchgoer.
Yep.
And that's not something I want to be. You know, so the moment that I can come into church and I can be like, oh, I understand where this is going. Like, I understand the preaching, and oh wow, like, this is cool because I did a Bible study on this and I kind of get that. That's when you understand you're growing. You know, and that you're not that like little Christian anymore.
Right.
You know, but it's a responsibility you have to take on, and I think a lot of people don't take that responsibility on.
No.
You know, because it's scary.
A lot of people don't even like to read.
I know, but it's true.
Nah, facts though.
It's true though.
Facts. But a lot of good things in life, you're not gonna like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I
isn't
feel like
that
that's
kind
for
of
the
like,
most things. No.
For the most things,
I
yeah.
think the things that kind of bring you like a little too much joy, we should question. No, maybe happiness, not joy, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No. Like, low key, sometimes when I'm going through really happy seasons of my life where things that like are going really smooth, I kind of gotta stop and be like,
What?
Wait, why?
I'm like, hold on.
Where's the catch?
I'm like, because you not like this. Like, hold on. Like, hold on. Like, what am I doing?
Where's the test?
No. Like, for real. Like, because if you ain't hurting, you ain't growing. Like, that's
Why
my.
am I not worrying?
No. Never worry.
Now I
should
know I'm
never
always in the
worry.
trenches.
Never worry. But I do feel like there should always be something There should always be something, because we'll never be perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of Christianity, is we'll never be perfect. So there's always something you could work on,
Right.
you know? But then you pray to God about patience, and then he tests you. Like, that'd be getting me mad. I don't get y'all mad. That'd be getting me mad.
No.
Like, have you prayed about how you're reserved?
Oh yeah. And I was at the pulpit this Sunday.
Like you're sick.
No. Sick to my stomach, fam. Sick to my stomach. These are like very like different. So we're gonna enter new territory.
Okay.
But
Period.
it's about offering,
Oh.
and like that is true. People do get church hurt about money. So
If you church out about money, you in love with it.
oh,
And you need to watch yourself.
oh,
Nothing else to say.
and the love of money.
Is the root.
Of all evil.
The root. Why he why
Timothy 2:10.
why he say that?
Actually, I don't know. Don't quote me.
Why did he say
Timothy
that?
It's Second Timothy. I don't know the verse.
Why did Paul say that?
Yes, that's true.
But why did he use those words? The root of all evil. Like, that means that all evil derives from this.
Let's think about it.
I think.
Does it?
Oh, you gonna say something?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. I think it kind of goes back to like what I wanted to say today.
Oh, period.
Because I think it's a good replacement for what God really is. Like money. Because money, like we depend on money in life. Like money is like literally what we use to survive. And I think we put it in place of God because we think we only see the physical world. We don't see the spiritual world. So that's why I think it's like the root of all evil.
You know what's cool?
What?
In America, we're founded on a lot of Christian beliefs. And they understood that. So you know what they put on every single note that we have?
And the Lord
God we
we trust.
In God we trust. On our money, they put a message to remind us that,
Money.
that we should not trust this. But how many of us actually take that advice?
Mm.
Girl.
Clearly not a lot of the country.
Yeah.
Because we're so like money. I don't want to use the word obsessed.
Hungry?
I don't want to use the word.
I think we're
hungry.
just like,
Guided.
money driven.
Money driven.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good word. I like
Yeah.
that word. Yeah, because I don't really think a lot of people are money obsessed or money hungry, because a lot of people I know that fail in it, they really just want to take care of the people they love. You know, like it's not even with bad intentions, but a lot of people with good intentions are going to hell. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not about your intentions. It's about
Woo! I mean, that's real.
like,
Yeah.
you can have the best intentions in the world. You want to take care of your family, but if you didn't put God first, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a balancing act, because
Yeah.
then the word of God will say a man who doesn't care for his family is worse than an unbeliever. You know, so like you have to balance like taking care of your family and having enough economic stability where you can do that, but at the same time not letting it be an idol.
Yeah.
And
I
I-
guess, yeah, go ahead.
No, go.
No, go.
No.
I mean, that's why the verse is like, it's the love of money
Yeah.
where it's the sin. Of
And that's why it's the root of all evil.
Yeah. It's the
Because-
love of it. Because
because-
God doesn't want us to be like dirt poor. I don't think God wants us to live a life where we're struggling. Poor.
Like homeless.
Poorness.
I think God would want us to be smart with our money.
Do you think that there's a such thing as a rich Christian?
What do you mean? Like
Like-
rich money.
Money.
You can be a rich Christian. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think
'Cause
God.
there's-
I don't think God calls us.
Wait,
to
There's
but
people
then
who
it's
don't
not
believe.
fair, Allison.
There's people who
Why?
don't believe
What,
that.
what about people that are like homeless?
True.
God
Yeah,
still
that's
loves
why.
them.
That's why I can't agree with you, because
Yeah.
I don't think I could go as far as to say God wouldn't want that.
Maybe
for
that
us.
was a bad word.
Yeah,
But like
No, because kind of I agree with you, because if you think about it, in the beginning, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Like you could always go back to what Jesus told like the Pharisees, like, sure, like these are the things that were given to you in the law, but in the beginning it was not like this.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, because of sin and all of the atrocities, this is kind of what humanity looks like now. But God didn't want anyone to have to go through hunger. You know, God didn't want anyone to go through these things or have to pay rent. Like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Like he gave us dominion over the land.
Felt that one.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I was looking at apartments.
oh yeah, don't even try. Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more what I meant was like, I think some people read that verse and then they kind of like fear having money. If that makes sense. Like they fear like enjoying.
Because I've heard that too before, where it's like all these, like, I'd rather be poor.
I
like,
would.
You would rather be poor?
Poor? Hungry?
Not hungry, but like poor.
Yeah, like I take what Jesus taught when Jesus talked about money. That's one of the things he most talked about, and the fact that he said it's harder for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven than for a camel to enter the eye of a needle. That verse to me is so there's a lot there. Like there's a lot. Why did he say that? Why did he say that? Like it's because a rich man, you have to have certain. Everything about life is priorities, and if you're rich, it's because you want it to be rich. No one gets rich without trying.
He's right. Like
No, like
No, because I hit him.
no, like
You should.
I think we're in accordance.
You should have been like regular.
No, like I think I know what you're saying.
and then the verse that comes to mind too is like we don't have our treasures on earth.
Yeah,
You know, we have our treasures in heaven. And then he says, where you find someone's treasure is where you find his heart.
Yeah.
And if your heart is found here, it's not gonna be found up there.
Right, but that's why that verse is so important.
But
Yeah.
that's
The
what I'm
love
saying.
of money is the root of all.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you have a big mansion and then there's people dying
Right.
that need.
But then that goes to that other verse of like, if you see your brother's in need, help him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
but you can't help the whole entire world. Like,
You can't, but you can.
but you
always,
can help
like,
your community.
help.
Like you can
Yeah.
help
Oh.
people. Oh,
No, but I think it's like if
that,
you are
look, Denise.
kind of like hoarding resources, like hoarding your money in order for you to live a comfortable life, then I would have to question where
like
that kind of
one of my favorite pastors. His name is Cliff Nechtel. Shout out.
Shout out, Cliff.
He's very honest. He has a good amount of money. He's a I would say he's a wealthy man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he struggles with that. You know, he's opened up about how he sometimes, even though he donates and he gives to different ministries across the world, and he's himself has gone to missions, he struggles with the fact that he lives in a house that has 7 bedrooms.
Oh wow.
You know, like he struggles with the fact that he knows he's gonna sleep well at night in a place, in
And
a
others
gated
can't.
community, in a safe place with warm food every day. And there's people out there that don't have that blessing. And I have enough money to probably feed thousands of people, but I don't. Like, how much do I give of what I have?
What does Jesus ask the rich man?
But that's in that certain case, because then.
But
he-
that's because his heart was only in money.
But how do you know? How do you know that your heart's not there if you have so much of it?
But
Like, how can these Christians, like, I believe these people are completely out of line. How can you call yourself a good Christian and you buy a private jet?
yeah, I don't agree with that.
But then where's the line? Where's the line?
But we can say the same thing about us.
Exactly. We buy $100
That's
of
a
shoes.
1,000.
Okay, whatever.
This is a band.
We buy.
This is
guys,
another one.
your own food.
because
He has
I
Balenciennes.
think, because I think some of these people in this panel went to Cartier.
Bunny.
These are 80,
A whole bunny.
The animals of the Lord.
and it doesn't even have fur.
No,
It's not a bunny.
because let's talk.
Complaining about not having fur.
No, 'cause-
Might have made me up there. Might have made me up there.
Nah, because
No, you're right,
I've
you're right.
struggled with it. I struggle sometimes the fact that I go to my house and I have 14 pairs of shoes that I could pick from.
Yeah.
That's tough. You know, because it shows me that there's a problem in my heart. There
So
is.
what if you don't struggle with that?
She's like, but what if you just don't care? What if I have a walk-in closet and I couldn't care less?
For a friend.
No, because you're so right.
Yeah.
Because you're so right. Because I think Paul talks about convictions, and convictions are important. You know, and if you're convicted about a certain thing, then you should do something about it. But if someone's not convicted about it, don't judge them. But
Pray for them.
pray for them and maybe ask that person to do some self-reflection.
Yeah.
And ask them, why don't you care?
But isn't that judging though?
No, judging them is being like, oh, you're a bad Christian because you have a walk-in closet.
But you couldn't rightfully judge.
I guess it's how people take it.
Sorry.
Because if somebody would have told me like, reflect on this thing, I'll be like,
It just
What
depends.
are you trying to tell me?
It
Just
depends.
say it.
It depends on how you say
You
it.
see how, like,
Just
that's
say
how
it.
like
Yeah.
that's how like we get like misinterpretations. So I feel like he meant it with a piece of love.
Yeah.
okay.
Like kind of like let's like look at this part of your life.
Maybe that's what I have to work with.
I'm
That's
like,
not
what?
bad, but
Yeah, that's not
Like,
bad.
low-
say with love.
Like Loki, I stopped the whole like buying this and buying that. Like 2-3 years ago, yo, I was buying.
He has a Cartier love ring.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Oh, love bracelet. Sorry,
Yeah, that was bought a while ago.
with diamonds.
Oh,
I'll put the price down below. I'll put the price on the screen just because I want one and I know how much it is.
they were just at the Cartier store and they bought stuff. And I'm gonna
But we
share.
returned it.
But
yeah,
we
From
returned
what?
it. We were responsible
Conviction.
because of conviction. I was actually convicted.
We were convicted.
I was actually
You
very
returned
convicted.
it?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah, like I was convicted. Like I was going back and forth with
I
myself.
felt really bad
And-
spending
Yeah.
that much money.
and
in
doesn't
one
that
place.
speak? And doesn't that speak on something? But the thing is, I hope that a lot of us don't have to wait till that moment to understand we were living incorrectly. You know, because I think sometimes I'm gonna be open. You know, when life isn't just about you, you understand life was never just about you. Hold on.
Yo, you swear.
Yo,
bro.
he swears.
You just want the clip so bad.
No, he wants to be clear.
No,
No, because I see it.
no,
Sadia.
no, because if y'all don't get it, it's because your heart's not open for it, but your heart's open for it. So
It's very much
those who have
gaslighting.
ears, let's hear.
Very much gaslighting, but continue.
No, because honestly, the moment you understand life isn't about you, and this is gonna hit you as a man, it might not hit them as a woman too much until you have kids. But as a man, once you have someone that you have to take care of,
Oh yeah.
you understand life isn't just about you.
Yeah.
You know? But you have to realize if your call is to be a Christian, that realization shouldn't have to wait until you have someone there. You should have that care for the world. You know, you should have that care that you need to take care of people, whether they're your girlfriend, your wife, or your kid. You should have that love for every single person in the world because God had that care for people. You know?
It's tough. It's easier said than done.
Oh, of course. Everything that's spiritual and divine is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like go and run a mile. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to be difficult. It's going to be life-altering, life-changing decisions. But we have to understand that they're true. So that means they're worth it.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's why sometimes older people get it more because they usually their parents. So they're like, yeah. Like, when's the last time our parents bought something super expensive for themselves? For themselves.
Yeah.
I think because my parents have reached a different part of life. Where
Sure, you're older.
Yeah, and
You're
I feel like
older.
me and my brother were working. So
Right,
I think
right,
now
right.
my
So
brother,
now they can finally
now my parents
spend
have
something.
that luxury of like, okay, well, we want to go on.
But when you were
vacation.
kids,
Oh no, probably like no.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no.
I mean it's different though because I feel like actually no, they didn't really. They sacrificed a lot for us.
like, bro, my dad has like 3 pairs of shoes, maybe, and one of them is like his working boots, and the other one are like Nike Air Forces that are like $50.
Period.
Like, and the other ones are like his kind of dressy shoes that he can kind of wear out.
King.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he's so, like, he has that like heart of humility that he doesn't need that much, because as long as he sees me and my mom are good, like, he's fine. You know?
But what if you like fashion?
But
you know
that's
what I'm
also
saying?
like upbringing.
But what do you like more, people or fashion?
That's
Don't ask him that question. but yeah, that's yeah.
Oh my God,
what if
Jesus.
Jesus? Because what if Jesus
Conviction.
came on earth and Jesus was like, you know what I like more than you people? Comfort.
Oh.
And you know what? I'm in the Garden of Gethsemane, and it's not about God's will. It's about what I like.
Oh.
And then he just decided, you know what? I'm not going up that mountain to die for these people. They're going to care about clothes more than my commission to them.
Yo. Oh.
And you
That
know
would-
what? That's true.
Yeah. I was
Bring
gonna
it up.
say something also is the time that we spend, which also I think correlates with this, because the amount of time that we spend for ourselves is insane. I'm thinking about it. Like, when was the last time we actually went out and like did something nice for somebody we don't know?
Oh.
I
So
can't
you
even remember.
You had me, and then you lost me at someone you don't know.
Because she be doing nice things. She be doing nice things. Yeah, she be doing nice things.
But Jesus spoke on that. If you have a banquet, why are you inviting all the people that you know that one day they'll pay you back? Invite people that will never be able to pay you back, and it will be seen as a reward for you in heaven. See, like, sometimes we think we're good because we treat the people we love well, but one day they're going to pay you back for that because they love you. But those that you don't know, those that don't have enough to give back, they will never be able to reward you. And that's when you get a true reward. Like, see, like, we have this thing of, oh, I'm a good person because I do this. But who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for those who are meek and lonely and have nothing? Or are you doing it for those people that you love and not who God is looking out for? You know, there's a difference. I just ministered to myself.
I think it's amazing though that with like your church, you guys help out people who you don't even know.
You don't have to say your church.
The church.
The church
In the name of Jesus.
that you guys just help out people that you guys don't even know. Like that's beautiful.
I will always respect
Yeah.
my church for that.
For
Yeah.
the missions.
The missions
Very
is like, to me, that's, I don't even know. I don't even think you could really truly be a church of God and not do missions.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you have to go to another country, but you have to be doing something.
Yeah.
You have to be doing something outside of your community. You know, you have to be trying to affect people's lives that aren't directly connected to you. You know, and because that's the call. You know, that's the point of it all, to reach the ends of the earth. You know,
Deep.
Very deep, very real. Well,
I promise I'm ministering to myself. Like,
Yeah.
it's hurting.
yeah. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow.
It is, especially in America. We're so used to everything catered to us and everything about us.
Bro, like, you know what once, because you guys know I do offerings sometimes at the church. One of my favorite things that I've ever said for offering that hit me so deep, and I'll never forget it, is when Alexander the Great died.
Yo, that's my mom's favorite thing.
Oh,
My mom talks about that to this day.
Really?
My homegirl uses that for her cell group.
nah,
No, because it was good. It was good.
the way,
Elaborate.
because the way it ministered to me was insane.
Speak on it, King.
Alexander the Great, one of the most powerful men of all time.
And the short king too.
I don't think Alexander was that short.
He was a short king.
Was
It
he?
doesn't matter right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter right now. But,
Yeah.
but he was, you know, he was basically conquered almost the whole known world at the time, right? So he had a lot of riches. He was a very powerful man. But as he was dying on his deathbed, he gathered up all his wise men, and he told them, I want you to do these 3 things when I die. And he said, I want you to carry me across the village, basically, like, so everyone can see me, and I want my hand to be let out of the casket, only my hand. And then the wise men were like, why? And he was like, so when they see my hand is empty, they can understand that when you go, you can't take anything with you.
Deep,
Like,
emotional.
and he goes into a couple other things, and you guys should look into it. It's cool, but he keeps starking on the fact that he was the most powerful, the richest, but he left with nothing. He left with none of it. And one of the things that he also asked them is for the wise men to start throwing his money behind him. You know, just throwing his money behind him as they walked, because none of the things he acquired can go with him.
Yeah.
None of it. And sometimes we think, oh, this is so cool. I need this thing. I need that thing. I need that thing. I need that thing. No, you don't. You don't need that thing. You want that thing. You know what you need.
Taking on my ring right now.
Not like
Tell you everything in your whole life.
That's true though. That's true though.
Bro,
But
it's
I feel
tough.
like society has a lot to do with that. Like the world, like, cause like, I think for a long time, I didn't realize like how much, like, the news, like this, like society
Social
in general,
media.
yeah, like everything's like everything around you, like applies this pressure of like you need to make money. You need
Influence.
to be something. You need
Yeah.
a career. You need like so much here, not enough up there.
You-
Yeah.
But you know what that is? It's the fact that, because at the end of the day, like, you can argue and say, no, that's not true. I do it for myself because I like it. But you want approval. You know, you want approval from people. You want people to look at you and say, oh, wow, he knows about fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, her jewelry's fire.
Damn.
Oh, wow, she's different.
She's coming from us. Like what?
No.
No,
But
no,
it's in
I get
general.
it, yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Dang,
these
shots are
people-
down.
like these-
Damn, Tanita, take that.
like, these people could think all these great things about you, but what does God think about you?
Speak on it, King.
You know, at the end of the day, one single being is gonna have the authority to truly judge you for who you were, and he's not gonna look at what you wore. He's gonna look at who you are. You know, he's gonna look at your character.
Yeah.
You know,
Should a church be transparent with the funds?
So like finances.
yes, to a certain extent, there should be proof of what you're doing, but I don't think that the congregation has the right to like see every single breakdown. Like, that's why you have leadership, you know. But yeah, like, if they're saying that they're, you know, doing missions or doing this or doing that, you should see the fruit of the church.
That's
You know,
good.
like, they should be doing community outreach. They should be giving out food some days. They should be going out to mission, stuff like that, and you should be able to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's one way that you can see what they're doing with your funds.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
I agree.
All
I agree.
Next question. Why can't women wear what they want? I'm reading exactly what they wrote. just so in case y'all want to.
Woman and man.
Right.
So I guess what we meant by that question is because we're talking about church hurt, right? And many times people leave church or like they get hurt because people comment on the way they look
Yeah.
or what they
Ooh.
wear.
Yeah.
That's what
So,
we
like,
meant.
appearance wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
different.
Because you come and dress as a stripper.
Yo. Yo.
I'm joking.
It took me a minute to process that. I was like,
Because the way y'all were
When you
like,
went- when you did hashtag
guys, I'm
change my
joking. I think when people first come to church, honestly, you can't judge them for what they're wearing because they're just coming. Like, if they're wearing a tight dress or if it's a little, you know, shorter skirt, like, what are you gonna do? Like, she doesn't know better.
Yeah.
You know, or even a guy, if he's wearing like a bunch of ripped stuff, you could see like his whole thigh or
I
like he's
would.
sagging all the way down. You get what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
can't really judge him too much.
Yeah.
I think you can initiate difficult conversations once you understand that they have more knowledge.
yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I thought about the question is, like, is it really important if, like, a woman wears pants or a skirt in church?
Because in some churches, they don't allow women to wear pants. So what do you guys think about that?
I want Allison to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's hard because
Be careful.
I know. Mm.
I think it's stupid.
I
It's
think
cultural.
it's
You said be
Be
careful.
careful. He
Be
says, I think
careful.
it's stupid.
yeah. I personally don't agree with it. I think it's almost sinful to make someone feel guilty and make them tell them that they're going to hell if they're wearing pants, especially women.
Yeah, going to hell is too much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's where it gets a little sinful, and I'm almost like,
But I think having rules in a church is okay. Like if there's rules at a church and they're not like egregious,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like if your church has a rule that you can't go on the pulpit with pants on and you're a woman, if you're really gonna like be like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
believe, then maybe there's something else going on. You know, maybe.
yeah. I mean, I just feel like that's really outdated. Like we should kind of let it go. But I understand churches that kind of enforce stuff like that in that scenario where it's like having a specific dress code for like the pulpit.
There needs to be though.
Right.
For the
I
pulpit,
can see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no. Even I think if you're a committed member to the church, there should be a sense of responsibility on how you dress. And I think unfortunately, I'm going to say this. It does the responsibility lies more heavily on a woman.
Yeah.
Because a man, it's difficult to come off in a way that's appealing to the eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we wear suits.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
usually a man will wear suits or a dress shirt.
Yeah.
And I guess like the one thing maybe is like if you have huge arms and like you're wearing a tight shirt.
Yeah.
But even then it's like it's arms, like
Yeah.
you know. But a woman, it's like, and this is the fault of society.
My fault.
We're keeping that in.
Nah, because we have to zoom in.
and that's the issue. No, because I think
That is the
women are sexualized a lot, and I think what the church does is they try to protect the women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to be seen as sex objects. We want you to be seen as vessels. You know, and if unfortunately, you know, you have, you know, glory to God, you have a great body. And maybe you don't want to be seen as a sex object, but damn, girl, like, what are these men that are not the greatest in the world? These aren't saints and angels in heaven. They have their mind, and sometimes their flesh, you know,
Beaks.
just takes over and stuff. Like, let's try to limit the access to sin, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's why.
Yeah,
Very much.
very good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I kind of agree. Yeah, I'm just not big on like you have to dress a certain way. I feel like as long as you keep the rule of like modesty for both men and women, I feel like that's fair. You know what I mean?
So
As
you're
long- as
modest,
long as
yeah.
like you keep the modesty thing, but I just don't feel like I won't look at you different if you don't go to church in like a church dress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I won't look at a man different if he doesn't come to church in a suit.
Yeah.
I just feel like as long as you're, you know, respecting yourself and others, I feel like that's perfectly fine. And then I feel like we all know we're never going to go into a place that we respect sloppy. So like we kind of just know that kind of going in. But I wouldn't hold like my standards of sloppy onto someone else, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like for the older people, like they think sloppy is like jeans.
Yeah.
And, like for me, like if I'm gonna wear a jean and it's like a no rips, that's fine.
Like, very cute.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But I wouldn't hold people to the same standard as like my
Yeah.
So what's a modest outfit for you?
like for church.
Mhm.
I mean, I typically go for like a sweater.
Calm.
Yeah, calm.
So
Nothing
like not crazy.
A cardigan.
Calm.
And then I always do pants. I don't really do skirts or anything.
Oh yeah, I never seen you wear a dress or a skirt. Yeah. Maybe once.
I did wear a dress.
And you're allowed on stage.
I was allowed on stage.
Period. As you should.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a big skirt dress.
Yeah. You're not
All right. So we're in agreement. Next question.
skirty dressy.
Speed round.
Come on.
Girl.
Question number 3.
Tattoos, question mark.
I don't know.
This man.
I mean, it kind of goes back to the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but some people will die on this hill. Like there are some Christians that believe like if you get tattoos, you're bad. Like, you're a
Actually,
sinner.
I don't think I mentioned this to you guys. I went to a church before, and like, Julio, I think Julio it was. I don't know. Yeah. So this guy went to like a church that we know, and then he has a bunch of tattoos over his arms. And the guy's like, literally, this is the first time I met this guy in this church, and he's like, "Mira, qué malo ese hombre tiene tatuajes," and I'm just like,
Oh no.
"What?"
The table.
Yeah. Like,
Broken.
Broken.
what?
That's the way she said, "Oh no, oh no." She said, "Oh no,
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Because when you said the story, she went,
oh no."
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. I think it's religious.
That
Very
is awful.
religious.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think some people live by the law and they're gonna die by it.
Mm.
Yeah. You
And that's
have,
the table.
you have to understand that if you nitpick which laws are valid now, you're gonna kind of get that right back in your face. It's kind of like when Jesus said, like, be careful to point out the speck in your brother's eye when you have a log in yours, because literally in the same paragraph that they get Leviticus, the whole you will not mark yourself, blah blah blah. Right there is like, you shall not cut your hair, you shall not wear this, and it's like, boy, tell me you never cut your hair. Like, let's be honest,
Right.
you know. So it's like,
All the time.
you know, let's be contextual when we're Christians.
Nice.
You know,
And then the next one is, wait, does anyone else have anything to say?
No.
Okay, sorry. And then the next one is, should pastors preach sexual orientation? Next question.
No, I think so. Yeah.
no, 100%.
They should address it. I think
100%.
in a loving way. They should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Girl.
nah.
You don't think they should?
Can
Fire, fire,
He's
and
joking.
stone.
He's joking.
joking.
He's joking.
I
He's
would say
joking.
maybe there's a time
Yeah.
for it.
I think it's nice when like they don't do it like together. They kind of do it separate.
What you mean?
Like when they separate the men and the women.
Oh, nah. Wait, what? Wait, are you talking about like sexuality as in like how to
Like in a whole. Like everything.
Wait, say the question again. Say the question.
So
again.
like sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Sex stuff.
Respectfully, you got to
Yeah, I
tell
feel
the whole
like
church.
Sex stuff you could talk like separate about.
Nah, because if it's about sexual orientation, you,
I mean,
I think sexual orientation
yeah,
in
I
a
mean,
congregation is
yeah.
fine, but about what is done in bed
wait.
with your wife, it should be like in private. Like that's too much.
I think we should just hop on to the next question.
No, wait.
Gluttony.
Because this is
Gluttony.
important. This is
No,
important.
no, no.
Oh, that's not what y'all
Let's end
thinking.
this.
Because the
Gluttony.
thing is, I need my
No, it's
church.
him still
I need
going.
my church to have a clear stance on like
On the
these
truth.
important issues.
Yeah.
I think for our generation, it's really
The
important. Yeah.
LGBTQ plus community is one of the biggest and largest ideology movements we've seen
In our generation.
in our common era.
But can I be fair? Because I think I brought up that question when we were working on the questions is because I met someone who I used to work with.
And they're gay.
Yeah, and he was like a son of a pastor, and every time,
Wow.
yeah, so every time he would go to church, the pastor would preach literally about sexual orientation, and he would feel attacked because every time he would go to church, that was the subject. So I think
that should have probably been assigned to him.
That he felt attacked.
That every time he went, that's what was being preached.
that's what the dad. But he said
crazy.
that
When the pastor knows your
his
business.
pastor. Yeah. So I think, and then he stopped going to church because of that. So
Yeah.
I mean.
I think the most beautiful thing that I've ever learned in
Bro.
an anniversary from Juan Valdez is
Love.
how
Oh, he's fire.
it's how he approached like that situation with his own brother.
Yeah.
And like he did it with love and like prayer, but he also did it with truth. Like he never withheld the truth from him, but he just said it with love. And I feel like that's why it's important for us to say it to a congregation. If we're held that responsibility to guide people into a certain direction, like we should always lead with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important.
The thing is, we should definitely allow them enough comfort to where they want to stick around,
Exactly.
but never enough comfort where they think it's okay to be them.
Correct.
Yeah, I think you can't really compromise the truth.
Because then we have those progressive churches.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's a very thin line, and the moment that you become too lenient, then they think it's, well, God still loves me this way,
Yeah.
and respectfully, you only have a certain amount of time, you know. And if you live your life, like if you live your life not living by His will, there will be a day of judgment, you know. And I think the Bible's too clear on that subject, like too clear. Like there's not even like it's not even ambiguous,
Yeah.
you know. Like there are some things where it's like, yo, we could debate about this, and you know that's why there's different denominations. But it's like it's non-debatable.
Yeah.
Like this is very clear. It's said multiple times. These people, and it says a whole bunch of things, will not inherit the kingdom of God. Like it's just that clear, you know. So I don't know.
No. Well, anything else?
Just say with love.
And if you're gay, please go to church.
Please do.
Please.
If you're anything, go to church.
Yeah.
Just go to
Murderer.
church.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one's gluttony.
That one hit deep
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm a glutton sometimes.
You think you're glad?
Sometimes I sometimes get excited about food.
Bro, we went out to eat. Let me tell you something. We went out to eat.
You're annoying.
And we got bottomless pipizza.
Okay.
Bottomless
All you
pizza.
can eat pizza.
All you can eat, sorry.
Bottomless pizza.
Hilarious.
God.
I mean,
She was
that was
saying
a great
about
deal, though.
mimosas.
$25, that was a great deal.
$25?
Yeah, unlimited pizza. And because, you know, I'm a chatterbox and Dan started asking some deep questions, I was just talking the whole time and Dan was out here just eating all the slices. And when I turned around, the guy had come back. He's like, "Do you guys want another pizza?" And then Dan's like, "Yeah, of course. Let's get another one." So we get another one, and he didn't even touch it. We didn't even eat it.
Well, because I ate 2 whole pies, basically.
Yeah, but we didn't eat the other one. But he was like, "We're gonna get our money's worth."
Yeah, but then I gave it to Matt.
True, and then Matt ate it.
Yeah,
Our
Matt.
all you can eat bottomless pizza. We're talking about gluttony.
Gluttony.
Sorry.
I don't think gluttony is really talked about in church.
No.
And it needs to be.
It needs to be.
Because we're in the age of Ozempic. And
What's
people need to chill out. Like, y'all need to be healthy.
What's that?
You know? And like, why? I think it's especially in our culture, we eat big plates.
Spanish culture,
We
yeah.
do. And did you hear that our portions are like 2 times bigger than like
They're
any
insane.
other portion?
Like, if
Yeah.
you go anywhere else in the world, it's like Americans are known for overeating.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to watch.
Oh, I
how
saw
much we
this
eat.
TikTok that kind of made me sick because I was like, damn, you might be right. And it was saying how like Americans eat like their healthcare is free.
Oh, yeah.
I said, oh.
Yeah. I think it was like the Chinese people. Yeah.
I think it was on Red Note, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It was in Red Note.
I think it was on Red Note,
Yes.
but he said, y'all be eating like your healthcare is free. I was like, oop, never had to eat this up like that.
Nah, because the way
Or that will not be eating. Yeah.
because the way I be savaging sometimes, like I know it's not right. Like it's not right.
Damn.
Okay,
I think self-control.
speaks a lot about our self control. How we pick and choose when we want to control ourselves.
Pick and
Yeah.
choose, pick and choose. Now, the last question is, should we sell things in church?
Sell things in church.
Should we sell
Yes.
things in church?
Like what?
Things?
It depends what.
You think it depends on what?
Merchandise.
I think it did depend on what.
Like, okay, so what's acceptable and what's not?
Food?
Yeah, if you want to sell some food to make money for the ministries, I think that's okay. If you want to sell some merch, sell some merch. If you want to sell, I don't know.
But wasn't there a verse where he was like,
You have turned this house of prayer into a den of thieves.
yeah.
Yeah, but that actually gets really deep. If you get into it, what he's talking about is actually that the temple of the Lord, which is meant to be where the place where they got connected to God, it turned into a place where they set up altars for other things. But it's actually, he's being prophetic over us. He's talking about how we become the temple of the Lord, but then we set up altars for other gods inside of us. It's actually really deep. And how God, Jesus himself, had to go in and take them out. You know, it's almost like he cast those things out of us so then we can remember what we're really made for, which is we're a house of prayer to God. We're meant to only connect to him.
So it wasn't about actually selling stuff?
It's both. So that's the good thing, where you're getting a real, true story of what happened. And it's true that they started to use the temple of God to just sell stuff and make money, and that's all they cared about. But it's also a prophecy of what's to come and what happens in our lives, you know. But I think it's okay to sell certain things. But if you're at church and your goal is to like make a bunch of money, then no, that's not the point. You're not supposed to use the congregation like that. You're not supposed to use the church like that.
Like, I always thought it was wrong where, like, they charge for Bible study. Me personally. Like, I feel like if the people who are teaching the class...
Wait, Bible study or like, are you talking about
Like the institute.
But those are accredited
Yeah,
courses.
those are accredited courses.
Yeah. So you get something.
But because they pay some of the teachers and the staff and stuff, so they have to.
They actually pay them?
Some of them,
I don't know. I thought they didn't get paid. Because the ones I knew didn't get paid.
yeah. Some of them do it more as like ministry work, but some of them like we have them come into the church to teach. Okay. You feel me?
Like they study for that.
Yeah. So but yeah, like if you're just having a regular Bible study, like some churches just have regular Bible studies with their congregation, they're not gonna charge you at the door. Like,
Yeah, like a cover fee.
That shit.
nah, that's insane.
What do you think about like people like in the altar asking for a specific amount of money to plant the seed?
They're going to hell.
I hate that. I'll never
They do
forget. Yeah, I'll never forget this day. Again, another church. But
The guy that came, he was like, "Paga $200."
$200.
I remember, bro. I was pissed.
And I remember sitting there, and I remember being like, "But I don't have $200. Like, what am I gonna do?" Because I wanted everything he was telling me, but I didn't have that money. I was like, "Damn."
Nah,
I was
guess
pissed.
not.
I'm not gonna lie. People like that, like there's gonna be a place reserved for you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like the people that sell like the land of acres in heaven.
Oh yeah,
What are they called?
it was in Mexico.
What are they called?
Indulgence? Is that what it is?
Indulgences. Yeah.
Well, those were back in the
yeah, that's
Catholic
what they were
times.
called. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's insane to me. I find that so bizarre.
Like
because,
there's
like,
a special place. In
as a
hell.
10-year-old, why am I feeling like conviction? Like I already know like people of age who have the money probably feel even worse. Like coming up here telling me all these beautiful things, like you're gonna get what you want, you're gonna work so hard, you're gonna get all the money, you're gonna own that business, and it's like, damn, like, I want that, and then you'd be like, what if if you believe it, put a seed of $200. Put
What?
a seed of $200.
Like if you want to confirm
Yeah,
it in
if
your
you want to grasp it, if you want it in your hands, put $200.
This is your down deposit.
This is your
Down
this is your
payment.
act of faith. That's insane.
The Lord is telling me right now,
Oh,
like, sir,
Well, I ain't telling you. Your pockets is telling you something, bro.
right.
Your
And I
greed
find
is
that
telling you
so
something, bro.
insane, though.
because those people are sick. I
Not
ain't gonna
because they
lie.
have to.
Like you gotta be a sicko.
like
You gotta be a
like
sicko.
the fact that and you play on people's emotions.
Yeah, it's manipulation.
Yeah.
And-
Ooh, it's bad.
Honestly though, they'll get their day.
Yeah.
They'll get their day. Like they're gonna enjoy the spoils of these innocent, hardworking people.
Yeah, pobrecitos.
But one day they'll meet their maker.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
like, you know what it reminds me of? Like those MLMs.
Yeah.
What are
The pyramid
MLMs?
schemes.
Yeah, like like Mary Kay was one of them.
Oh.
Herbalife. Like those are MLMs.
Tupperware.
I don't know about Herbalife.
yeah,
'Cause she
because I
made
know
it.
people in her
Yeah, I love drinking your drinks.
like y'all eating. Y'all
Y'all
eating,
eat.
don't worry.
Yeah, like,
Stop playing with
Stop
Herbalife.
playing. But it does remind me of like MLMs where like they promise you the world and then but you have to give
stuck
so
in this
much. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
No, but that's one thing, and there's still some evil in that. But using God,
Using
That's
God
what I'm
is
saying.
insane.
Like it's
You were
it's that
saying
same.
the
it's that
Lord's
same,
name.
It's the same structure, but like using the Lord's name is insane.
Word.
Yeah, which
Like
is worse.
Yeah, that's insane.
respectfully,
Yeah.
wow. And honestly, if you allow that in your church,
Yup.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the story says that he's never been back, but hey, who knows?
Yeah.
I,
Wasn't my mind.
if he comes back, I'm booing him.
I don't know if he's like still in
I
ministry actually.
I pray he's in the Lord's presence.
Amen.
And in that
Wherever that
and
is.
in-
No, I just pray he's in the Lord's
Nah, I
presence.
remember that day.
That he's in a better place.
No, I'll never. And it's happened. Like it happened when I was
No,
smaller.
but you know what
I
the good thing
remember.
is?
I ain't giving nothing.
You know what the good thing is to give us comfort too for the people that do give, because there's a lot of people that give. God sees their heart.
Yeah.
You know,
And the Lord do be doing miracles.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
thi-
because God like kind of measures our faith. Yeah,
and even though that man's heart was not in the right place, when you go up and you give, your heart was.
Yeah.
You know, and that's beautiful.
right.
But I think sometimes these people need to wake up and understand, just because the Lord blessed you anyways, doesn't mean that it was because of that.
Yeah,
True.
You know,
That is true.
like just know that the Lord is good and all things work for good for those who love the Lord.
amen.
Amen.
And on that,
Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling. If you want to share stories, need prayer, let us know where you're coming from. Whatever, just like our stuff. And then follow us on TikTok. It's
'Cause
back.
we're back.
We're back.
It's back.
we don't know.
they tried to cancel us.
Red no.
Yeah.
Red note.
Yeah, follow us on Red Note. We're gonna make one. Ni hao. And
We have Chinese followers.
That's cancelable.
sorry.
What was that about?
But follow us on Instagram
What are there?
and
TikTok. Wait, where's that?
yes, TikTok, Instagram.
And we got a debate coming soon.
We do. We have special guests. So turn the post notification bell on so you guys can know when we're posting. And with that, we're out.
Out of
Service.
Man.